I think a lot of good mornings have already happened. So, I would say welcome to Nasik. Welcome to the home where UST has the privilege of building a world-class control command center, a fantastic application which is probably helping the city to really govern and administer better. So, without much time, I just try to take you through a few of the. So just to give a brief about, I won't bombard you with much on what we are as a company. I'm sure most of you will know what UST Global as a company is. We are actually a $6 billion company operating in 5 continents. Very focused in areas on what we do. We are purely a focused services software company with focused areas of verticals and spread, horizontal and vertical both, with a very clear mission that we want to transform lives. Unlike people who want to build large balance sheets and profit margins, we want to transform lives, make people more comfortable in what they do, build livable cities, and also build great platforms to enable them to use. Now, it's easy to bombard a lot of technology onto people, but how do you make the technology really work? That's what makes the city smart. So we work with probably the global Fortune 500 companies, sectors all over the world. So we bring in the best practices, best learned failures to success back to various countries and customers we work with. Established in 1999, what you see in the background is one of the unique development centers which we have in India. We claim it to be the best in the industry because we do a lot of research, development, and multiple new age technologies over there. We work, we have a very strong team of about 25,000 people supporting us for the cause of what we call as transforming lives. Just to give you a perspective of what we think is smart, I think any city can be smart. We all live in a smart city. We've been living in the age of telephones, mobile phones, telegrams, and so on and so forth. But what really makes a city smart is, how you administer the governance. How do you bring in effective experience for citizens, which will enable them to probably feel that they are in a place where things happen much more easier, comfortable, and are able to function their day-to-day life more, I would say, not transactional, but more helpful. That's what we believe in a smartly administered city. Unless you focus on citizens, which is the core of what you're building cities, you're building urban infrastructure, so on and so forth, it doesn't work. So you have the people are key for building that experience. So unless you bring in that component of involvement and making them much more involved in the whole process and the pedagogy of what you call it as smart, that's what makes we believe as a smart city. Coming to basic. So I think from the perspective of a smart city, this is what UST pitches as a smart city. So you have multiple applications, processes, services, and engagement models which probably run and combine together to be a smart. But effectively, all these combine together to one place, which is the people. So unless we are able to really bring in a great national identity system, a great governance model, build in a lot of reusable assets, make people come into the city by having tourism on board, creating data not just viewing but for probably analyzing it better, for using it for decision making process. I think that's what makes the city more smart and effective. From a redefined perspective, we believe that you have multiple assets as part of the city, which is what the city is made of. We believe that unless you are able to integrate multiple applications together into one platform, it doesn't help because a lot of people build boxes, but they stop at a particular place and this equipment doesn't talk to the other equipment and so on and so forth. So unless you build in that integration there, it doesn't work. And how do you make them combine together for people to use it? So I think the top layer what you see essentially is the people who are going to use these services for effective day-to-day life and making it much more beneficial for them. That's what we call as a smart city from a perspective of what we bring in as a platform. What you see in the background is the control command center which we have in this great holy city, Nasik. We are privileged to probably be part of the journey from the time choosing the building, the space, and creating the infrastructure around it to make it look really smart. So, as you speak, we've got a phase one gone live, and I think this is probably the fastest rollout which you've seen amongst other cities which is coming up pan-India. What essentially we're talking about the smart city over here is that there are multiple components which combine to the control command center. All of us do know that sensors are very important to gauge what happens from an environment point of view and so on and so forth. You have a very effective traffic management and traffic control system which ensures that you are able to pass through multiple signals and roads seamlessly. We have smart bins, which is very important, which tell you probably reducing any environmental hazard or health hazard, telling you where the bin is probably overflowing and so on and so forth as part of the implementation. We have a very effective police control command center, where the police is able to view, and tell you, an incident which happens, and is able to probably take proactive measures to stop it. As I said, the citizen portal is the most important, the mobile app is the most important, the heart of any city which is important, and the surveillance system which probably guides you to safer travel and ensure that the city is safe and comfortable. We are also building a citizen experience center where citizens can actually come and see what it means for the city, what will it do in the city, how can the city be used better for more effective. All this transitions back to the control command center, which is what the staff just saw earlier, where people are able to create SOPs, look at how to govern and make administration much more effective, and reduce an error which can probably happen. The differentiator what we have got over here is we've involved something as chatbot, which is basically people can interact, and a chatbot which is more artificial intelligence powered, which is one of first of its kind, which we are doing, where people are able to interact. The system is able to learn on what happened probably from a past incident and able to gauge it better. So those are some of the things which we have probably brought first of its time in Nashik. So what you see over here, as I said, this is the control command center. You have the citizen portal, which is already being implemented now and has gone to beta version. You have the traffic management system, which is able to manage the whole ecosystem of the city, seamlessly move people across multiple junctions and signals and so on and so forth. And you have the control command center, which has got multiple screens, which essentially relates to each of the application which you saw, the smart bins, the transport, the traffic, as part of the ecosystem over there. So when I talk about sustainable smart cities, I simply mean that unless all these blocks talk to each other, it doesn't really work as a smart city. So coming back to what we define as smart experiences, is basically the experiences, the expectation which citizens normally have when they look at a smart city to be happening. And how does this essentially transform into what we call it using the ICT way of bringing in multiple platforms and technology to enable it. So we talk about smart, governance, we talk about better quality of life, intelligence of the city, all that merged to the ICCC, what we call it. Now, coming back to what we believe from our learnings of probably the global landscape, we have worked across multiple geographies, and multiple countries. We believe that this is something which is the way forward. So wherein we're able to bring in a component of artificial intelligence there, it is able to predict your workflow, seamlessly create SOPs, rather than people to react. The system will take over and help you to enable you to take a decision which is probably required at that point of time and not maybe 2 minutes later, which could be a hazard by then. So we believe that unless you are able to create a platform which will learn, act, and optimize resources for the right decision-making process, I think it's no good to have a platform in place, which is exactly what we bring in. We bring in a platform which enables you to learn from multiple practices, It captures the entire workflow and then acts in a way which enables you to probably take a decision-making process, much more simpler and faster. These are some of the use cases. I think in a typical smart city situation, you have cameras that capture a lot of incidents. They go back to the command center where people are able to view it. You have a operator who sees this incident, creates an SOP and passes it on to respective departments or people. What we believe in a predictive service delivery mechanism is a similar environment where you have a hidden end case, the camera capturing the incident. You have a ICCC, the control command center, which is the heart of the system. You're able to learn from what happened over there, which is what I showed in the previous slide, and it is able to automatically either create an SOP or create an action, which will probably enable the city to probably work on the incident which happened right now. So this is what we define as a smart city, where it is not people dependent; it's more on technology dependent. We believe that boxes are good to have. You may have n number of sensors, n number of boxes, throughout the city. But how do you make those boxes talk to a platform which probably enables you to look at the situation and react to it? So that's what I mean by here. And I think yeah, that's all what I want to say. Thank you so much. Thank you.